Welcome back to Content is Profit. Happy Monday, Fonzie, as we're recording this.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Are you caffeinated? Are we good to go?
I feel like I didn't have too much of a weekend.
There was no weekend at all.
Or at least...
I mean, there was weekend.
Too much of a traditional, this is your time to rest weekend. It was intense.
Backstory, I have two kids. Both of my kids' birthdays was this weekend. Luca, the 15th, and Mateo, the 16th. So it was a action-packed full-on weekend. But anyways,
I know. I felt like a 5-year-old playing the bouncy house and the trampoline for hours.
We also played...
then followed by a soccer game, and then followed by another soccer game the next
Sunday
morning.
Over 30s. But
it's intense. Everything hurts.
Everything hurts. But anyways, it was lots of fun, and we're happy to be back. We're sore. That's why we started a little late to just walk into the studio. It's like, oh. Anyways, okay. Today, we have part 2 of the 6 stages and tools part. And we started just talking about it last time. It was supposed to be 1 episode, but we dove into these amazing tools that can help you with your content production to save a ton of money, improve your processes, increase the speed of output. And hopefully this is being useful for you and you can go out and execute with your team.
That is right. So the 6 stages are research, creation, production, distribution, monetization, and the operations. We covered the first 3 on the previous episode. Quick mention of the tools. If you want a little bit more of a deeper dive, make sure you go to the previous episode and listen to it. On the research side of thing, we have feedly.com and we had Air. On the creation side, we got Descript and StreamYard. And on the production side, we have Premiere Pro, of course, Team Premiere, Let's Go, and Descript. So again, if you want a little bit more details on how these tools work and how they can help your workflow, make sure you go to the previous one. But today, we're going to be covering the last 3, which are distribution, monetization, and the operations side of things. So why don't you get us started? Because last time I started with the first one. So go ahead with distribution. What is your tool?
Absolutely. So I have 2, but I'm going to lean into one that I'm testing right now that I think is going to be like really useful. It's called repurpose.io. So a lot of the issues with the distribution that we've experienced personally and with the people that we help is how do you actually get the content out from what you create, right, to like the multiple social media platforms, right? And there's a lot of advice out there that says, hey, just focus on one social media platform and then go from there. I personally think, and we've had this discussion before, that this is based on the fact that we might not be looking at full capacity, right? We might not have the resources to tackle all of them. But today, with the help of a tool, you can actually do this, right? So here's the before is you had like one piece of content, let's call it a vertical clip, right? And then you go to your individual platform, call it Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, right? We're posting vertical clips and you schedule them in the same time. So you schedule your Facebook reel or your Instagram reel, you schedule your YouTube shorts, and then you schedule your TikTok, right? So these are 3 platforms which are publishing the same piece of content. Now there's other tools that you can do that within, their scheduling system. So you upload the video once and then they distribute into 3 platforms, right? And then there's the one that I found not so long ago called repurpose.io. I tested it last week. It looks pretty awesome. And basically you can set up a workflow or an automation where you can put that clip into a folder and then the software reads that clip is in that folder and uploads them into whatever platforms you want on the back end. So you don't even have to upload the content somewhere. So for us, for example, that we have a production team, we can tell them, hey, these clips, put them on this very specific folder, and once it's uploaded there, it will go out to this platform. There's an approval process with your captions and different things, but it's super awesome. The other workflow that you can do is you can actually record something, let's say on YouTube Shorts. That's your main platform, right? You record that, you post it on YouTube Shorts, and the software says, okay, I recognize it's a new video on YouTube Shorts. Now I'm going to put that same video on Reels or on TikTok, right? And you don't have to download, re-upload in any other platform. So I think that's a cool feature if you are creating locally inside of it.
Yeah, I will add here, we've kind of noticed a little bit in some platforms when you use third-party apps, you tend to see a drop on reach. So that personally, it's, we need to test it just to kind of like confirm on it. But I feel like that has something that's been going on for a while too, and we're not the only ones that have seen it or have said something about it, right? But it's that decrease in reach when it comes to, again, posting from third parties. So that's why I'm going to lean into honestly distribute through the platform that you are either specializing or using. Obviously, when you want to post at scale, you might have to lean into hiring a VA to help you do that, and just keep your files very, very organized and have a system to do so. But for me personally, I think it's pretty cool to just, guess what? I'm going to post on Instagram. I'm going to log on Instagram and then put the content in there. How we do that on our end is we have a very specific Google Drive folder where the team uploads all of the content that is ready to go. So we don't have to go searching in different places. I have that folder as a quick app access on my phone, which it's like another app. So I click it, it opens that Google Drive folder, and then I select whatever video I want, download it, and then I can post it straight into the platform that I want to post. So yes, takes a little bit more work, but at the same time, think about this, right? Gary Vee does a similar process as well. He actually has his team message him a whole bunch of content, which then he decides, he looks over it and he says, oh, I like this one, I'm going to post this one. And then he goes into the platform that he's going to post and he makes that post himself, right? So again, which one is better? I would say whatever is better for your workflow, for your, again, capacity, resources. Personally, and I'm speaking just for myself, not for my brother, I would lean more into how can I have somebody post within the platform in case that reach does get, a little bit tied up in there. We're talking
tools.
I know, well, I was going to say humans are tools. Spoken like a true AI. No, I'm kidding. I take my mask off and I'm a robot. What would you do? What would you do? I take my mask off right now and I'm a robot.
It makes so much sense. Somebody programmed you the wrong way, but it's all good.
All right, cool. Well, my tool is use the in-app distribution.
Sounds good. Awesome. Okay. Next stage, monetization, right? How do we connect that content that's going out consistently into every single platform or the one platform that you choose, right? How do we convert that into actual money for your business, right? So there's many ways, but one tool that we've also just started with migrating literally everything to there is called Go High Level. And it's on our side just because our publishing, our relationships, the people that we create content with, they're directly related to the service that we offer. So we need a way to track it. We need a way to communicate with them. We need a way to send emails, messages, social media messages, right? And Go High Level does all this. Previously, we had 5 to 6 different tools connected with duct tape, right? The system was not the best. And last week, we actually sat down and we mapped out what's the pipeline. What is the experience that we want to bring the guest in, right? How can we automate this? How do we automate the messages that go out to these people? And for us, Go High Level seemed to be a pretty solid platform. So more on that later. But to me, that's the platform that we're working on today. Also, right, you can create landing pages if you have lead magnets, if you have like guides that you want to share with the audience. Hey, go to contentsprofit.com, for example, right? And download, the 6 stages your team needs to know to create high profitable content. Spoiler alert, that might be something that you're going to see in there, right? And then inside of that software, you can create those funnels and then you can categorize the conversations to increase the revenue in your business. So for me, Go High Level recently has been one of my favorite tools.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Stripe because guess what?
Yes.
You can create your product in Stripe and then you can process your payments through Stripe. Pretty cool, right? Receive money from somebody else. And, at the end of the day, there are lots of ways to monetize your podcast, right? You can have like brand deals, you can have affiliate marketing, you can sell your own services and products like we do. So on this services and product side of things, Stripe, again, it is just a payment processor and it's just going to facilitate running your business at the end of the day. Yeah, you need a way to get money.
Absolutely. And they make it so easy, right? Like this could be such a hard decision, maybe if you're a bigger business, right? If you have other payment processors on the back end, but there's a small fee that you pay. If you're a small business, I think this is a great option. Like Fonzie said, right? You can set up your products there. You can create payment links that you can just link to your sales page, right? If you don't have like an order page or something like that. And it just makes the whole process like super, super easy. Also, By the way, we're no way affiliated by them. This just helped us move the business forward when we needed to be. But it also allows you to borrow money. So we've actually taken a couple of Stripe loans that have helped us in sticky situations, and they've been amazing at managing that. So for us, those two, right? You have a place where you can capture the people that want to have conversations with you, right? That you can manage those conversations, and then you have that place to process your payments. There you go. So thank you, Fonzie. I never really thought about Stripe as that tool.
Yeah, I mean, and you can link it to Go High Level.
Yes.
And then, you can sell through it, which is awesome.
Awesome. Okay. Last one. The operations of this whole thing. So obviously we're going to look at this through the lens of the content side of things. We obviously talked a little bit about, the monetization side and the payment processing right before, but how do we actually manage the publishing, right? Like, this is something that most people don't think about initially when we're starting to create content, just because, you're just focusing on like, what am I going to say? How am I going to record it? Right? Like the things that we talked in the last episode. But then as you get going, we need a system to track like what has been recorded, what are the topics that we talked about, what are the people that we've interviewed, what are the people that we want to interview. So for me, there's no other option here on the ops side of things and the project management side of things. Notion has been so amazing as a tool. I think it's notion.io or SO, right?
IO.
.io?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pretty sure. I'll look it up.
And it's just a very flexible project.
Notion.so, actually.
Notion.so. We're going to also leave the link right below. Full disclosure, we became affiliates after a full year of actually using the software. But we manage everything. We manage our podcast flow in there, like who's coming, the cheat sheet that we mentioned every single episode, which is the information that we follow to do the episode, is embedded in that flow, right? The projects with our agency, that's where we track it. You have multiple access. And the cool thing is like it's super malleable. You can actually create whatever you think. Full disclosure, here's going to be this is going to be a tool for a project management that is a little bit more advanced just because it's a white canvas, right? So you can literally create anything that you want in there, and there's different views that you can do. It is a mix between any other project management tool with Google Docs, with also media embedded in it. So you can actually build a bunch of stuff, really cool things, but it might be a little bit advanced. But again,
there might be a little bit of a learning curve.
By the way, like for our story, we went through probably 5 other project management tools before landing in Notion. One of our clients was using it, and after that, we migrated everything in there. So
it was actually one of our podcast guests, the one that was using it.
It was Simon.
It was Jeremy.
Well, yes, but that's not when we migrated. We migrated with Simon and.
All right, we'll have a debate here on another episode about when we started Notion, but I'm pretty certain it was with Jeremy. That being said, best bro here always wins the debate.
Sure.
For me, I have to go with Notion too. I pretty much use it for every single thing ever. So Notion is amazing. But let's say you're looking for another option, the one that we were using before. I think it's a solid option. It's called Monday, just monday.com. It was pretty cool. It's like Excel sheets in steroids, has a lot of automation in there. We know of some big agencies that use Monday as well to manage their content creation side of things, which is really cool, right? It has workflows like, okay, when it goes from one stage to the other, immediately assign this other person and send them a notification, X, Y, and Z. So those are really useful things. Now, what I want to invite you to think about is not what is the best tool out in the market, because we have all been caught up just searching and trying to maximize our decision. And by trying to do that, we might just stop taking action, right? We might get to a point where we just have so much information that it just creates so much doubt in our minds. So instead, go with what it looks like it can be a viable option, commit to it for a period of time, test it, and then make a judgment of whether that is working for you, right? For you, that's important. Not if it's, but this other person is not doing the same. No, it doesn't matter. If it's working for you, awesome. Keep using that. And if it's not, then go ahead and pivot and try something else that might be better for your needs based on your capacity and your resources.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to wrap up, I'm going to do like a quick flow of like how we use some of these tools in our podcast, right? So let's say we start all the way from the very beginning on the research stage, right? So if we are if you're researching our own content, right, Fonzie will be using Feedly, and I'll be using Air on the podcasting side. And then we bring ideas that we want to bring to the table depending on the type of topic that we want to discuss that day, right? So then once that's decided, we go into creation mode. So as we manage all this, right, the operation layer is like right at the bottom. So inside of Notion, we open a tab in the podcast flow, which would be the episode for that day. And we write bullet points of the things that we want to say inside of what we call the cheat sheet of the episode, right? So it'll be like point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, what we feel like it needs to be discussed, and that's managed there, right? As we create, let's say we're not streaming live, but we record it, we'll actually record it directly to this script, right? And as we're recording, we're getting the transcription right off the bat. If we are streaming live, we're going to go to StreamYard. That just adds one extra step. After we record on StreamYard, we just download that footage and we dump it on this script so we can get the transcription and get it ready for production. In production, right, there's a couple of steps in there where we select the chops. We just clean up what we call the clean cut, which will be the full episode, right? We clean up the audio. We'll make sure that it looks good, that we remove any things that we want to remove. And then obviously the team then takes it from there and does the micro content. Then when we go to distribution, like Fonzie described, once the content is ready, then either we post it locally in our phones, right? And right now what I'm doing is I'm testing that repurposed software so we can actually post organically in our phone, but then that takes it to the other platforms. And we're testing, right? So far it's been okay. And then how do we monetize? We send people into the contentsprofit.com landing page coming very soon because of the migration, right? And then we process any type of payment in the back with Stripe in our side. Obviously, if it's a relationship that we built through the podcast and through the podcast flow, then we will jump on a quick call and see if they are a fit for us and we are a fit for them. And then from there, the deal is made of whatever we do. So that's a flow, a very quick flow on how we use these tools. If you want more specifics, feel free to send us a quick DM at BIZBROS and we can go through it. And hopefully if we're a fit to collaborate with each other, we can. Anything else, Fonz?
No, I think that's it. Pretty good. Pretty solid.
Yeah. Should you do an example, or should we do a sample with a clip, for example? I mean, podcast episode is a little bit of a bigger process, but should we do a clip?
Well, we can. Why not? The clip would be exactly the same, right? Let's say we're doing research, right? I'm using Feedly to kind of like monitor the news that are going out there, things new. And all of a sudden I see, wow, Instagram just released a new update where you can see the average watch time on your reels. I was like, ooh, this is interesting. This is timely. I can definitely make a piece of content with this. So then we go into the creation mode. Now, for just a clip like that, I wouldn't go into Descript or StreamYard because that is more based on the podcast. But I would literally just create something specifically from the phone. So I would just screenshot parts of the article that I want to reference, and then I would go inside of Instagram and I would just add the green screen effect and talk in front of the article, pinpointing the points that I want to make. Obviously, giving my opinion, because when you are the expert, you need to be comfortable sharing your own opinion. Then after that is, part of the production as well that happened inside of the app. Now, let's say I don't want to edit that. I just want my team to kind of like spiff it up, add subtitles to it, etc. I could download the video and then I would upload it to the operation side of things in Notion to the project board. I would say, hey, this is a clip. This is what I'm looking for. And then obviously by when do I want it? It seems timely. I'm going to put a due date in the next 24, 48 hours. Then the team goes and works on it on the production side of things. They use Premiere Pro, right? Edit that. And then they send it back to me where I distribute it, right? I usually get it in my Google Drive folder that is called #to publish, content that is ready to go for you to enjoy. And I just go in that folder, download the clip, and then I just go on Instagram myself and post it. Pretty much it. Very simple.
Easy peasy.
Peasy.
I'm actually going through.
It's simple, but it's not easy. Let me tell you.
Yes, that's right. I'm actually going through the metrics that Fonzie say, like organically versus not, and everything seems to be consistent on the schedulers except TikTok. That has been our feedback so far as I'm looking at it. So we have some more testing to do. There's some that are a little bit higher engagement and views. But at the end of the day is what translates into sales side, right? So that's why we rely a lot on the outbound for our agency. But I'm curious, like, what are the tools that you're using in your process? What are the tools that you've used? A lot of the cases are, hey, I didn't really know a tool like that existed. We don't really take time to research some of those tools. I understand if we're a bigger company, same thing. Like maybe there's not allocated time to, research and development in your content systems. We totally get it, right? So that's why we do it for you. So we're going to be completely honest, and we're testing these things to see if they work for us and for the people that we help and support. I highly recommend take a little bit of your own time, or if you do have a team, task them with researching what are some of the tools that you can be using, especially now with AI. I think there's a lot of possibilities out there to increase output, to increase feedback, and to make sure that your content is getting out to the world. So with that said, I think that's the episode. Fonzi?
Yeah, go create, go hit publish.
That's right. Thank you so much for tuning to the Content's Profit Podcast. Go ahead and follow the show in your favorite podcasting platform and on social media at BIZBROS Co.
That is right. If today's episode helped you become a better creator and put your content out into the world, please don't forget to share this episode and leave a 5-star review. See ya.
Bye, guys.